Hello, this is Zena. We're going to be reading Tiger Eyes by Judy Blume. All right. Chapter 19. Bitsy is reading a book called How to Feed Your Kids Right. And now every morning, Jason and I get a teaspoon of raw bran in our cereal. This will prevent hemorrhoids in later life. Bitsy assures us. I wonder if that's true, because I might need to eat some bran, because I don't want to be an old man. Well, you know what I mean. I didn't want to have hemorrhoids. What's a hemorrhoid? Jason asks. Never mind, Bitsy says. Just eat your cereal with bran and you'll never have to know. Yeah, eat the cereal with bran. Because I knew several people who had it, and the pain that you can see in their eyes is, it's not funny, but it's really sad, actually. Where am I at? Mm. But if I don't know what it is, how do I know if I don't want it? Believe me, Bitsy says, you don't. Bitsy is taking us very seriously, as if we are her kids, as if we are her responsibility. You're her nieces and nephews. I did not understand. I was against Bitsy when I read this when I was younger. I did not rock with her. But I figure we'll be going home soon, maybe before Christmas, because Mom has seen Miriam Allnick at at the family counseling counter. Ooh, we only 2 minutes in. I could erase this and start over, but I only got a couple hours to record these, so we must go on. Maybe before Christmas, because Mom has seen Miriam Olnick at the family counseling center 4 times in the past 2 weeks. Damn. She has joined Bitsy's jazzercise class and is looking healthier. She is still tense and apt to run off to her room when you least expect it, but she's getting better. Although sometimes when I am trying to talk to her, like about Bitsy giving me an allowance, she spaces out, and I know she's not hearing a word I say. What do you and Miriam talk about? I ask. That's one thing kids will do. They'll ask you, like, who asked that? One evening, let's see. What do you and Miriam ask about? What do you and Miriam talk about? I asked one evening. I'm sitting on the kitchen counter, nibbling at a piece of celery, and Mom is fixing her specialty spinach pie. She has volunteered to make dinner tonight to give Bitsy a break, but I don't think Bitsy is overjoyed. She considers the kitchen her turf. Yeah, I don't want nobody puttering around in my kitchen, but she going through some stuff, so you know, this is the first time that Mom has cooked a meal since we got to Los Alamos. We talk about everything, Mom says. It's easy to talk to her. Do you talk about Dad? I asked. About that night. Girl, why don't you go talk to Miriam? Have your own little conversation with Miriam or one of her coworkers. Mom hesitates, then says, yes. She says it very quietly, and she doesn't look up. How come she can talk about him to Miriam, but not to me? Miriam don't know him. Miriam don't know him. That's why. Miriam don't know. Miriam don't know, and that's the whole crux of the solution. She don't want to talk to Bitsy, Walter, or her kids because y'all know him. When dinner is ready, I help Mom serve it. Walter just picks at the spinach pie, and I feel angry at him for making Mom think there's something wrong with it. I'm rock with Walter. I don't mess with Walter. but that doesn't sound good. He makes things even worse by saying, "It's good when it's just that I had a big lunch." Girl, that shit is disgusting. It's outstanding, Bitsy says. I haven't had spinach pie for years. Walter doesn't like. She stops abruptly and covers her mouth with her hand, realizing her mistake. I guess you could say I am a strictly meat and potatoes man. Walter explains. It's all right, Mom says. I should have asked before I made it. I'm hoping that Mom doesn't break down and cry over this. She sounds as if she is on the brink. We'd been walking on the beach, all four of us, singing This Old Man at the top of our lungs. Mom and Dad had their arms around each other and were in one of their touchy-feely moods. I was thinking about later, about going out with Hugh, when Jason came up from behind and dumped a pail of water over my head. Ooh! With his Dracula cape flying behind him, he ran away yelling, "Can't catch me, can't catch me," and then we went home for supper. Spinach pie, a green salad, and sourdough bread. What is in a spinach pie? I don't have my tablet with me, so I won't be searching. And I also don't know where my phone is. But that sounds disgusting. And then on top of that, you have a salad. I mean, I can enjoy an all vegetable meal, but okay. I wonder if Jason remembers that too. I look over at him. He is shoveling his food. So what's new in school, Jace? I ask. My teacher's so tall she can open the window without a pole. Wow, that tall, huh? And smart too, Jason says. She knows everything. She sounds great, I tell him. I told you we had excellent schools here, Bitsy says. Mm. The next night, I like what they did there. I don't know where my pen is, so I can't make a little note. I really like what they did there. Well, let's see if this white marker works. I want to save that for. That's not going to work. I have to really be paying attention to see that. I wrote a note. Don't worry about me. The next night, I am lying on the living room floor, playing Monopoly with Jason. Jason lands on Virginia Avenue, and even though I already own St. Charles and Place Street, he buys it. Because that's what you need to do. That's what you got to do in Monopoly. He never misses a chance to buy Virginia Avenue because that's where we live in Atlantic City. Playing Monopoly reminds me of home. Walter and Bitsy are taking Mom to a party tonight. Mom comes downstairs wearing her long skirt and black sweater. She looks nice and I tell her so. Thanks, honey, she says. And you smell good too, Jason says as she kisses her goodnight. As she kisses him goodnight. It's Chanel number 5. I bought it today. In the 80s? I think that means she got shmoney's. I roll the dice and move my man 8 paces and land on go to jail. Too bad, Jason says, holding up his get out of jail free card. Walter helps Bitsy and then Mom into their coats. Mom says, the police and fire department numbers are on the bulletin board in the kitchen. And so is the number at the grants where we are going. If there's any trouble, just call us there. Hey, Mom, I say, I used to babysit all the time in Atlantic City. Remember? I know what to do. Mom looks doubtful and turns to Bitsy. I don't know. Maybe I should stay home tonight. She said, Girl, I'm not trusting you. I'm not really feeling up to a party. Girl, go party, drink, get plastered. Nonsense, Walter says. It will do you good. Don't let anyone in, Mom says to me. I don't care who they are, who they say it is. I don't care if they say it's the police. Don't open the door for anyone. Yeah, pretend like nobody home. It's all right, Grin, Mitzi says. There's no place safer than the hill, believe me. I realized suddenly that I realized suddenly what this is all about. Tonight is the first time Mom is leaving us alone at night. The first time since my father was killed. I hear the front door close. Okay, Jason says. I'm building a hotel on Boardwalk and another one on Park Place, and two houses on. Have you been stealing from the bank, you little creep? Jason Jason has trouble keeping a straight face. Who, me? My mom was the master. She is the master at stealing from the bank when you play Monopoly. You gotta keep laser focused on her, or the bank will go bankrupt. I know that he has. That while I was talking to Mom, he was helping himself to $500 bills. I let out a whoop and Jason takes off. Racing through the house, I chase him and we both laugh our heads off. When I finally catch him, I pin him down and begin to tickle him. No, please, stop, stop, Jason screams. I stop, but I don't let him up. We are both out of our breath and panting. After a while, I say, Jason, do you miss Daddy? Joy! Jason turns his head to the side. Do you? He smashes his lips together and doesn't answer me. I know you do, Jason. So why don't you ever say it? And why don't you ever cry? Crying is for babies, he mumbles. But you're your daddy's baby. You're your mama's baby. You can cry. I wish someone would have told me that. They probably did, but I wasn't listening. I wasn't listening to nobody. I didn't want to hear shit nobody had to say. I wanted absolute silence in the house when it's crazy because I have four sisters and I have four cousins that regularly came over. I had other cousins, but they didn't come over a lot. No, I tell him, it is for everyone. When you feel sad, it's okay to cry. Let me up, he says. Not until you say it. Not until you say you miss Daddy. No, he struggles to get away from me. Okay, I tell him. Then I'll say it for you. I miss Daddy. I miss him a lot. I move aside, and Jason gets up and runs away from me. Jason, I call. Don't you want to finish our game? Girl, I wouldn't want to finish the game with you. Actually, I would come and kick it. But he's already upstairs. Finish it yourself, he calls back, and he is crying. I don't know why I did that. I don't know why I spoiled our game, our evening together. It's just that I have this need to talk about my father with someone who knew him and loved him the way I did. Not everybody wants that. I do think people need that, but not everybody wants that. That is chapter 19.